What's going on, guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder, quietly joined by also the world's okayest steering wheel holder. She's the world's okayest 62 mile per hour driver.
Oh, you upgraded me.
Yeah,
to 62 miles
she's
per hour?
upgraded. She does 62 now. She's really cranking the miles. She's drinking a Black Rifle Coffee Company, which there have been some people wonder what her hat is. Her hat is Black Rifle Coffee Company. And how did you describe that drink?
So, Starbucks is like a refreshing, calm hug from your neighborhood coffee place in the morning. But Black Rifle Coffee is like a strong punch to the face by a trusted friend.
Yeah.
It'll get you on the right track when you need to be put on the right track.
Yeah, so I just woke her up. We're in an undisclosed location, headed to an undisclosed location on another $3 a mile load. So we are extremely thrilled. And not only that, this $3 a mile load takes us to a place that we tend to get $2.50 to $3 a mile out of, like almost every time. So
We're going to Disneyland.
we're not going to Florida. Disneyland for us, money wise. So yeah, we're killing it right now. But I wanted to make a quick video before we go get loaded here, because we're just kind of waiting right at the moment, and talk to you guys real quick. This video is going to be more for non-current Prime drivers. Those of you who might be on the fence, might be thinking about it. Maybe you're very early in the stages. Maybe it's just an intriguing idea to you. I had about an hour-long conversation with Travis Kinley, not last night, but the night before. And we were talking about all kinds of things, but one of the things that we talked about is how surprised, I don't know if he was saying that he was surprised, but how surprised I am at how I'm so comfortably an advocate for a trucking career for just about anyone now. And I never thought that would be the case. I never thought that I would suggest, again, in a comfortable way, that I would suggest that a trucking career is a great choice for virtually anybody to take. And we were just kind of chatting back and forth about it. I've been thinking about it for the last day or two since that conversation. You see a lot of Prime drivers on YouTube, and you see a lot of conversation of, hey, change your life, get your CDL. It's true, though. It really is. It really is a positive, life-changing experience, adventure, and journey. And trucking is unique because as long as you have a level head on your shoulders, and as long as you have a relatively clean background, your driving record's not absolute chaos, the barrier to entry is pretty much non-existent. You can't walk up to anybody and say, hey, you should go become a dentist. You can do it, right? You can be a dentist in 2 months, or you can be a brain surgeon, or you can be a massive mega Manhattan real estate investor. You know what I mean? It doesn't work in most industries. It does in trucking. And you could be sitting there thinking, yeah, but I've spent my last 30 years coding websites or working in IT, you name it, so is trucking really? But what you have to realize is that most of us who drive trucks right now, especially with like a company like Prime, I'm not talking about the guys who've been on the road their entire adult life, but those of us who drive for Prime, we all come from a very not trucking background. I was working in film production before coming to Prime. Jenna was in banking, finance, many moons ago. So the diversity of financial economic backgrounds of people driving trucks, especially for companies like Prime, is vast. And in fact, I heard when I was in orientation that there was a literal rocket scientist who drives for Prime, or was driving for Prime at the time that I went through orientation. And it wasn't because he thought he could make better money, it was just because it was something he always wanted to do. So he took the opportunity to do it, and he decided to drive a truck. But the point is, it doesn't matter what you're doing now. We know people I know professional chefs who drive trucks for Prime. What's some of the
somebody who's a former professional wrestler.
Oh yeah, former professional wrestler. Bitcoin investors. You name it. It's all out here, and the reasons for it can be, wide ranging. A lot of people just wanted to do it at some point in their life. A lot of people, the economy put their line of work in jeopardy, and that was the case for us. And we were in a really tough financial situation. A lot of people just want a career change before it's too late in their lives, and want to have a good trade, a good skill, a good profession that was relatively easy to attain at any point in your lifetime. And trucking is such a great avenue for that. So I'm a strong proponent of advocating, especially with Prime. Obviously, I'm very partisan and biased to Prime. It's been a great company to drive for, great company. Both Jen and I went through our training at Prime, and we love it. We're very happy. We are currently very much enjoying freight and rates for the last 2 months. The last 2 months have just been absolutely crazy for us.
Well, because things are finally getting back to pre-COVID's.
Yeah, and rates are actually getting back to when I was training. They were. See, I gotta go wide like that. I'm dreading having to make a right turn from where I'm parked because there's a sign. So I'm watching these other guys. I even gotta go. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Anyway, I'll tackle that bull when it charges. These are the things you'll have to worry about. But
every day is a new game of Tetris.
Yes, every day is a new challenge. But anyway, I hope that, and you can text me. My phone number is down below in the description if you have questions. But some of the questions I get sometimes are along the lines of, do you really think this would be a good fit for me? Do you think I could do this? And
do you think I'm too old?
Yeah, do you think I'm too old? And it's like, man, if you were out here at Prime, you're going to see people who you think they can't be 21. That's a kid driving a truck. And then you're going to see people who, are loving life in their 60s and 70s and out here on an adventure and everything in between. And
completely kicking your ass doing it
yeah,
way better than you could ever
so
do.
There's really no, and now is the best time too. Now is the best time. Now is such a good time because capacity in the trucking industry, I can't speak to the rest of the trucking industry, so let me rephrase that. Capacity at Prime is very much needed right now. Our customers need more trucks, and Prime is working overdrive right now. The turbos are spinning, trying to get new drivers in, and new quality drivers. Prime is not the easiest to get into, but it's also not difficult. I mean, it's not easy if you got, like I said, a chaotic driving record and all that stuff. But like I'm telling you guys, when I was talking to Travis the other night, this was at 11 p.m. I was like, dude, I just never thought that I would be like, yeah, you should become a truck driver. I just had such a different perspective of truck drivers. I thought truck drivers were
And,
truck drivers.
and to be fair, though, maybe our enthusiasm comes from being specifically at Prime, because
That's true.
there is a completely different environment and community and culture at Prime.
That's
Like,
true. And
it's a
you know,
big family.
some
Like,
people say we're a cult. They say
Yes.
it's the Prime Kool-Aid. Say whatever the hell you want to say. There is something special at Prime. I fully believe that.
the Kool-Aid tastes great. Come on now.
When we talk to, like, we generally get along with Crete drivers that we meet. Werner drivers are pretty good, except for one couple. We'll do a video about that in the future. Anyway, that's a whole different. Anyway,
There might have been a little bit of a world star moment.
yeah, there was a confrontation at a fuel island the other day. That's for another video. Anyway, you know, like most Werner drivers, most Stevens Transport, I would say most Crete, are pretty pleasant to talk with, and the theme is pretty common that they're interested in moving to Prime.
Mm.
And it's because out there on the road, you know, they don't have, and correct me if I'm wrong, some of you guys who drive for these companies, they just don't have this environment that we have. Let's say, well, you see it sometimes on YouTube. God, there's like a phone book of Prime drivers on YouTube. Well, why is that? Why do you ever stop and ask why that is?
Yeah, instead of just hating on it.
Yeah, instead
there's
of
a
just
reason.
trying to insult it. Why? I mean, having this many drivers documenting their exciting adventure on YouTube is what most companies, you can't pay money for that, you know, like that's priceless. And it happens at Prime because of the culture. So here I am becoming a fanboy, you know, just going.
Well,
But her point is true. It is. I think it's easier for us to advocate a career in trucking because of our experience with Prime. That is absolutely the case. I've said before, I've never really felt like a truck driver. I've never felt like I worked for a trucking company. I mean, I do in a sense. I know we're a trucking company. We haul freight. You know, we're trucks. We're almost 10,000 trucks strong, our fleet. But I just thought it would feel different. I thought it would.
You don't feel like just a number. Like, you go to the terminals, and it's been forever since you went to the terminal, and a security guy who checked you in last time, like months ago, sees you and cracks a joke about the same thing that you were talking about, you know, the last time you were there.
And even those, it just, you go through the terminals, you go through, again, here we are fanboying, but it's true. This is fact. The people who are cleaning showers, the people who are changing tires, the people who are giving your paperwork or taking your paperwork, the people who are changing oil, everybody feels a part of Prime the same way that we as drivers feel a part of Prime. There's no other company, I think, that every single Friday their CEO and their chief safety, chief sales guys, chief operations are all right there in a global, wide open, transparent live stream for an hour plus, just giving us all the rundown. You know, like, we don't have media companies doing that for us. We're not publicly traded. It is the Prime family that's talking to itself and talking to each other and talking to the rest of the world about what's going on. And that is extremely unique. So I guess my point is that trucking, now I would suggest, if you are considering coming into it, that you have a plan for it. You know, don't just jump into it thinking you're going to do it for 30 years, because, and maybe that is the path for some of you. Maybe some just love doing this. But like Travis and I were talking about the other night, if you jump into it with a plan, like maybe you want to be debt free in 5 years, maybe you want to get into a new home. We know a couple right now that are shopping for a brand new fifth wheel RV. They're really excited about that. They've got some changes happening in their lives that trucking is giving them a path to, you know, so it just.
And we know another couple that's shopping for like 100 acres of land and
Yeah.
wanting to build like the most epic truck stop you've ever seen in Montana.
Just like we are plowing down a path of building a small little fleet, you know, like there come into it with something to work towards, and it will provide that opportunity. It absolutely will. And now you're gonna work your tail off. You don't think you're gonna come in here and work 40 hours a week. That is not what this is. Not at all. You're gonna have no consistent schedule. You're gonna learn to operate all night one night and all day the next, and you're gonna have people that are rude, and you're gonna have people that are great and amazing, and you're gonna be pissed one day and extremely happy the next.
But even the rude people is its own like interesting challenge. I take
Part
that
of
one
the-
on as a personal challenge. Like if you
Part
get,
of the adventure for sure.
if you get like the grumpy people at like a shipper or receiver, I literally take it as a personal challenge to get them to say like thank you at the end of our interaction and have them smile.
Yeah,
like,
she does turn a lot of
give
those
them
situations
treats.
around. She really does. But you know, you're gonna. Someone told me once. I don't know if this is true. I think I've mentioned this on a video before. Someone told me that Rob Lowe, one time, I would love to, if I get to sit down with him in the future, which I hope to be able to interview him at some point soon. I would love to know if it's true. But someone told me that one time in a meeting, he dumped a pile of money out on a table and said, you can have as much of this as you can earn. And that really is, you know, I get that vibe all the time. Like if you really hustle, like Jen and I make really good money, and we could make even more money if we ran our truck as hard as some other people. We just can't run that hard. It really, I can't run that hard. Jenna can. I can't, because I just can't sleep that well in a moving vehicle. I sleep great when it's parked, but moving, you know, like I like to have my stress level a little more controlled. Some people can run really hard. We could make more. We could probably make 25% more money if we just ran flat out, full team. But it would have us like wanting to go home much sooner. But there is crazy good money that can be made. And it really can change your life when you see these people say that, you know, get your CDL and change your life. That's true. It can and does change your life in many ways, in a positive way. And it changes things up for you, you know, and it's insulated in a lot of ways against the bad economy, especially at Prime, because we're the largest refrigerated fleet in the world. So,
well, and I mean, what do you like? One of the things that I always explain when people ask me about it is, what do you have to lose? If you get into trucking and you don't like it, okay, that's fine. But you will always have that CDL as long as you don't give it up.
yeah.
So that opens a lot of different doors and opportunities. So if you don't particularly like OTR, there are still tons of opportunities. And I mean, it's a pretty low risk thing.
Yeah,
if you're
Rob,
not sure.
Prime Trucker Rob last night was talking about how it just opens up so many opportunities, you know, and that's true. A lot of doors get opened, and so if you're hesitant or you think that it's a weird choice, yeah, it is a weird choice. It was weird for me when I made it, and I have no regrets. And I know so many people that felt that it was weird. There's people at Campus Inn right now that are probably like deer in headlights going, what have I done?
Well, it was weird for me. Like, even I grew up in trucking. My parents ran trucking companies, and I always respected the job, respected what the drivers did, and always thought there's no way I could do that. And I can remember when I had just got my CDL and messaging my mom's old boss on Facebook, and I was like, hey man, you are not gonna believe what I just did. Yeah.
So I'm about to reposition here so I can get out easier. Anyway, guys, don't hesitate. Let us know if you have questions. You can text us. Our number is down below. Barbara Brown, if you want to talk to a recruiter, she's amazing. We know her well. She was Jenna's recruiter. Her contact information is down in the description below. If our videos are helpful, use our driver code. It's ODOMEJ. That is down below as well. And you can connect with us on Discord as well. But I strongly encourage you, if it's in your mind and you're thinking about it, know that it's a good choice to make. It might sound weird to you to consider becoming a truck driver, but once you do, you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that totally made sense. It's great. And I think most people who come into it with a long-term plan, a long-term vision, a will to work, and an understanding of what it is they're walking into do really well with it. So, all right, guys, we got to get out of here. Thanks so much. Be safe. Make good decisions. As always, drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.